Greetings, tribe. This is Fadayz from the Self-Expression Project, and you are watching Beyond the Stereotypes, Part 4. The door slams. Now, if you look at this from all the different angles of everybody who's witnessing this, they're taking it in differently. So, the father is looking at the guy who walked in the house, and obviously we all know what he want to do. Because any man who's a real man who's willing to protect his family and his people around him are going to think that same very thing. Now, why didn't this man react how he was supposed to? Well, they say uniforms are powerful. They say women like a man in uniform. They say uniforms, hold rank or what have you. And this is what people have been conditioned to think. So if you see an average guy walking down the street, it's just an average guy. You see a man in a uniform, he's connected to something more powerful, and depending on what that uniform signifies, states if you can react to this person or not. So say this person that's from China is one of the main people who fought in their armies, and he's well decorated and people respect him, and if he makes a phone call, he has 1,000 people that's going to back him. Where does this brother stand in a situation like that, if that uniform signifies that very thing? So when a door closes and his wife is in a room with this individual, what does she do if the man can't do anything? Don't get me wrong, women are strong. I personally feel that women are the strongest creatures on this planet. Yet in a situation like this, it doesn't really help unless she has that intelligence to figure out the situation. Now, the man might be going crazy thinking, what is he doing to my wife? What do my kids think about me? If I get at this dude, what's going to happen? I have no power. Well, let's look at it from different perspectives. When the man walked in, I'm sure the woman was like, okay, this must be his friend. When a man that bumped into the owner of the home sat down at his table, sat down at his where he sits, where the man sits after a hard day's work, I'm sure the wife gave him that side eye like, what's up with this? And then everybody knew what was going on once the man took the plate from the owner of the home's child and gave it to the kid who walked in. Dark-skinned people are broken people. Yeah, I said it. When you see your father, if you're even granted that gift when you live in the hood or when you live in the suburbs. Let's say this guy lives in the suburbs. So he worked his way out of the suburbs. His family's good. Everybody's good. But he forgot to go back and kick it with his people because he was so busy trying to keep up with everybody in his neighborhood. This very nice, clean neighborhood, this safe neighborhood where your kids can go to a good school and make a good person of themselves and go to a good college to get a good job. Okay, so let's say that's the situation. So in this situation, if this man does something, who's going to help him? Who do you think in that nice suburban safe neighborhood, who do you think is going to help a brother in that situation? Somebody just came in your house, took your food, took your wife upstairs in your bedroom. Who do you call? You can't call your people because you separated yourself from them because you made money and bounced. So who do you call? Again, broken people. So this woman is in a room. What does she do? Does she fight? Does she figure out what's going on? Does she think it's a joke? Has she already mapped out what she's going to do? Because a woman like that is thinking of her children first. What does she think of a man? Does she think he's weak? Does she think that he's mapping out a plan? Does she think that he knows what to do? And what about the children? The children are just like, from the son is probably like, what is up? Pops to me is strong. He's half the provider for the home. He's my guide, my mentor. He's the man. He's my superhero. And in a situation like this, he's powerless. What does that mean? It would send a kid like that into confusion, I'm sure. And what about the daughter? What does she think about her mom? What does she think about her dad? What does she think about the whole situation? If you are a broken people, when a situation like this happens, you can do nothing but go into survival mode. That's all you can do. You have no people on your side. You have no allies, which is clear. That's been clear for the longest time. You have no allies. And if you have friends, they have to decide on if they want to go into this situation because they have their families and their jobs and, their, what do you call it, reputations to think about. So where does that leave the man of the house? This dark-skinned brother who works so hard to get out of the hood so his kids can have a better life, so his wife could be safe, so he can lay down a foundation for his family in the future, so their kids can go to good schools and colleges and get good jobs. It shouldn't be about good jobs. It shouldn't be about good colleges. It shouldn't be about good schools. It should be about good communities, good communication, and unity. And then all the rest of that comes. When you separate from your people, no matter where you are or what you do, that makes the chain that much weaker. That's holding the very foundation of who you are, your existence, your ethnicity, your ancestors, your people, you in general. And I would say we got to wake up, but now that those words are holding strength, it's starting to get watered down in commercials and movies and TV shows and stuff like that. Because anytime, I can't even say we as a people, but anytime dark-skinned people make a strong statement, it gets watered down the next day. So it holds no validity. So if you know someone in a hibernative state, you have three choices. One, waste your time talking to them, because it's the same as talking to somebody who just partied for the weekend. They're toasted in whatever form they chose to get toasted in, and you're trying to talk to them and thinking that they're going to understand or remember what you said. That makes no sense. The other thing is learning enough to be able to show someone without making them think that you're trying to change them, just giving them options. Then a third thing is separate yourself and grow by example. Like I said in the last video, Beyond the Stereotypes 3, it's been decades since I've been wanting to speak up. And it's just that conditioned mindset where you feel like you're not intelligent enough because you didn't go to college, or because you didn't go to school, or because you didn't grow up in the right town, or you weren't around the right people, or you didn't have a mentor or a leader. Well, what if you're meant to be that mentor? What if you're meant to be that leader? What if you're meant to unify that town? What if you're meant to teach in that school? What if you're meant to create your own college? What if you are the one that's supposed to unify your people and you separate from them and you pay no mind to them and you don't reach out to them and you don't show love to them? If you're from the hood, you're from the hood. No money, no town you live in, no clothes you wear, no car you drive, no house you have is gonna separate you from that. That's where you're from. And because people forget that, that's why the Sun Children are a broken people. You got all these rappers, I'll save that for the next one. You have all these people that go out and they make tons of money. I mean, like, some of these brothers are making millions, hundreds of millions. And do you see them putting up basketball courts in the hood? Do you see them putting computers in the hood schools? Do you see them helping out in any way? Do you? And if they are, it's not being put on TV. It's not being put on the news. Why is that? Think, why is that? If you're 3/4 of a man or 3/4 of a woman or 3/4 of a child, why is everybody just at you? Why is everybody at you? Think about that. Just really think about that. The next time you see, a brother starving or struggling or hungry, don't judge that brother or that sister. How about you do this? How about you think, what would put me in that situation? Maybe they lost a family member and that was it. They just couldn't hold it down anymore. Maybe, they lost their job and people just started, down on them or whatever. Like you just don't know. And then think about being somebody who's really trying to start a business, but your so-called unified community ain't paying no mind to you because you ain't making no money. Look at this dude trying to do something, ain't making no money. But what most people forget is that you have to start somewhere. People just don't roll out of bed billionaires. You know what I mean? Like, you got to start somewhere. And the Sun children have been conditioned to think that the only person you should respect is somebody who has ice in their mouth, or somebody who has a bunch of strippers in a video and you're throwing money, or somebody who is a basketball player or a football player or a soccer player. Okay, that's cool. That's entertainment. That's cool. But what about when they become older? What about when they're, 50, 60, 70 and they can no longer play sports? Where's that money coming from now? How are you providing for your family now? Are people supporting you and loving you like they did then? The real money is in unity. The real money is in communities. Next time you roll through the hood, ask yourself, is this a community? Then when you go to the suburbs and you see, little mom and pop shops and people in the community are working there, ask yourself, is that a community? Or if you go out of the country and you see people selling fruits and vegetables and it's about the wisdom and it's about who knows who and, keeping your area clean, ask yourself, is that right? Hibernation is not a good look. Peace. And as always, you are the adventure you seek.